hold on. I need to powder because I am sweating. Oh my god. Hey, my name is Ivy and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you are returning. Today is a very exciting video. I have to say I am really jazzed about it. This is my very first collaboration video with another creator. That creator happens to be Kathryn B Beauty, who you may or may not know. You probably know her if you follow me from her YouTube channel. She is a fabulous single shadow content creator, and I actually shouted her out in my Getting Started with Single Shadows video as someone to watch and follow if you're interested in getting started with singles. And we sort of started chatting just after that, chat out a little bit more, and decided it would be really fun to do a collaboration video. Here we are today doing it. It's like things are happening. It's very exciting. Kathryn and I were chatting about what kind of video we wanted to do, and we ended up finding out that we're both really big lovers of our gardens. We live in different parts of the country. We have different things that are in bloom right now, although there's a lot of similarities you'll see in the color palette. And we just thought it would be really fun to send each other photos of each other's gardens and then each build a palette based on the other person's garden. So the theme of this build your own palette is summer blooms, and it was so fun not only to chat with Kathryn, but get to see photos of her garden and photos of her cats and just kind of get to know her a little bit more and share looks with each other from the palette. I just can't say enough what a lovely, lovely person she is and how nice it's been to do a video with somebody else. So I'm super excited to see her video. I hope she's excited to see mine. I can't wait to show you the palette that I built. I'm super obsessed with it. I am equally obsessed with the one that she built. You'll see there's actually quite a bit of synergy between our two palettes, which I think is really fun. The video today is going to feature a look at the palette, some swatches, talking about the shades, and then 2 eye looks, including the one that I did today. And then we're gonna wrap it up and share some final thoughts. But yeah, I'm really excited. Okay, so let's get into the color story. First of all, Kathryn's garden is so cute and so beautiful. I loved seeing pictures of it. And I also really loved seeing this one really cute picture, which I hope she doesn't mind me sharing, of her cats in a little tent. They're her helpers. So cute. I just decided that I wanted to focus on this kind of being an extension of like a primary color palette. So it's a little bit softer, but at its core, it's very much a blue, yellow, red color story. I think that ties so well to what I saw in her garden. She has some amazing daylilies that are out. She has these gorgeous pink phlox that are popping. It looked like some kind of whitish daisies with some yellow. There were gorgeous colors throughout. Now, the end result is something that I never would have built without the inspiration from her garden, and I totally love that. Like, it's just never a color story that I would have put together on my own if not for our collaboration, and I feel like that's the best part of this whole thing. So let me show you the palette. I'm so excited to share it with you. This is something that came together better than I ever could have hoped. This is our collaboration palette. From my point of view, this is all fully inspired by images from Kathryn's garden and her current summer blooms. I absolutely love how this came together. It is so different from anything that I would ordinarily pull or build, and putting together some shades and pairing things in ways that I never would have before. It's just been really fun, and there's so much texture in here and there's so many nuances to a lot of these shades. I just can't wait to play more and see how things work together. So this packaging is actually from Unearthly Cosmetics. I had purchased a palette from them called the Weirdos. I decided I wasn't the biggest fan. I wanted to depot it and keep some of them as singles, but the packaging is so great because it's really useful to use for both circle and square pans, and it makes them look really nice and neat and organized, so I'm really into it. Let's get into some swatches because that's what you're here for. Okay, so we're gonna start with this first shade. This is a matte golden yellow. This is from my Viseart Brights palette. It's a really beautiful matte shade from the brand. Like, it's just such a sunny, happy shade. It just kind of says like happy, sunny, late June garden to me. You can see it's just that really beautiful, happy, sunny, goldeny yellow color. Love this. Really excited about that one. Okay, this next shade is called Dahlia. This is from the brand Dandelions Cosmetics. This is actually one of my all-time favorite shades from the brand. It's kind of a golden yellow shimmer with a green glitter running through it. It's more subtle than some other kind of glitter shades, but what I love about this is the earthiness of it, and I love that the green shimmer in it really does make it feel very gardeny, and it made me totally think of her garden because there's not only so many colors in the flowers, but there's a lot of green as well. So I definitely wanted one of those colors that has a little bit of that like green shimmer to it so that it speaks to all the greenery that she has. Such a beautiful, smooth, gorgeous shimmer, and again, a little more subtle. Okay, this next shade I've shown you in another video. This is Lightspeed by Terra Cosmetics. I am a big fan of the shadow. It's sort of a big, happy, sunny yellow, but it has these really beautiful flecks of pink, hot pink in it, and some green as well that just makes it kind of edgy. So this is Terra Lightspeed. Again, it has that really beautiful sunny yellow base, but then you flip it and it has those amazing, really bright pink sparkles that I think are just so fun. It just really made me think of Kathryn's garden. So I think that Kathryn also included Phoenix in her palette. You'll have to see to find out, but I'm pretty sure that she did. This is Phoenix by Terra Cosmetics. I have shown you this shade before. I'm obsessed with it. I think it's absolutely stunning. This was, again, a shade that as soon as I knew what I was working with color-wise, I absolutely wanted to include. This shade is really, really fun to work with. It's very flaky in formula, but as you blend it together, it really smooths out into almost like a very just intense metallic, and you can see it's just got some incredible shifts to it, and it's just so bright and reflective, and I really felt like it almost feels like a sun visor, like the sun is beaming off of it and you're getting those beautiful colors of the light. So I love this shade, and again, had to include it. Okay, so let's move on to our red pink row. The matte shade that I'm using for this is again a shade from Viseart. It is from the Brights palette, and it is this gorgeous magenta reddish pink. I don't know the names of these shades because they're not labeled. It's just this beautiful raspberry matte. It is what I have on my eyes as part of the look that I'm wearing right now. It's just got such depth of pigment to it. It's really smooth and blendable, and I find that reds can sometimes be patchy. This is not patchy at all. It's just super smooth. And I was looking at Kathryn's pictures and I saw the daylilies that are in there. I know they're a little bit more orange, but they just had such like beautiful red color pigment in them as well. And as soon as I saw this, I was like, yes, this is gonna be the perfect shade to use in this palette. Okay, this next shade is actually from a Shroud Cosmetics palette. This is from the Moonfall palette, and I decided to take it out and use it as part of this one. It's called Soulstone. It is a really gorgeous magenta pinkish red with a orange shift to it. So stunning. I feel like all the shades in that Moonfall palette are just epic. Like, that palette is so beautiful. And that is Soulstone, which, as you can see, just has that gorgeous shine to it and really beautiful, subtle but really powerful orange shift, and that really beautiful pink. I just felt like came through in Kathryn's garden so much. Okay, this next shade is Diatreme by Seeking Shifts and Shine by SD. I can't really make a palette without including at least one of the Earthborn shades, and this is one that I haven't gotten to play around with a whole lot yet, and so I was really excited to include it as part of this palette. It does really make me think of the sun. It has this very like sunlit glow within it, but it's almost like a sunset, and I thought that this would be a really fun shimmery iridescent shade to include. I just love how the light hits it, how it has so many different sort of shifts to it as you move around in the light, and it pairs really beautifully with other matte shades as well. I have it on as part of my look today. It is just such a really beautiful iridescent red with that orange flip. I'm obsessed with this shade. I can't wait to play with it more, and I was really excited to include it in this column. So this last shade is Halo of Stars by Terra Cosmetics. I'm not sure how well the pan is going to show up on camera, but it is absolutely a stunning iridescent shade from their latest launch. I was really excited to play with this, and so I definitely wanted to include it in the palette. It's one of these shades that has so many shifts in it. No matter what you're doing, where you're moving your eyes, you are going to get a different shade. Like, it goes all the way to green to pink to yellow to gold. There's some blue. Like, it's it's definitely an iridescent rainbow in one shade. So now we're on to the final column, and that is my purple blue column. And for my matte, I had to include one of my all-time favorite shades. It is the shade Spooky from Shroud Cosmetics. This is part of the Batty Bean original palette collab. I think it's called It's Freaking Bats. This blue is one of the great loves of my life, to put it lightly. So it is just this amazing periwinkle, but almost indigo blue. It's stunning, it's perfect, it's iconic. I'm obsessed with it. I had to include it. It was like when I saw the picture of Kathryn's balloon flowers, immediately knew this was the one. Like I was like, nope, that's the shade. I have to take it out of that palette and use it here. It's perfect. This is another Dandelions Cosmetics shade. This is called Star Bloom. This is another one of my favorites from them. It is, again, this like really beautiful lilac-y purple with beautiful blue shifts in it. Very smooth, kind of on the more subtle side. And this shade makes me also think of Kathryn, not only of her garden, but of Kathryn, because I feel like she would really like this shade. And I don't know that she has it, but I feel like she would really like it. I know she doesn't like blue, but this is like more of a lavender, and I could totally see her wearing this. I think it would look really beautiful on her. Okay, so the next shade was the one that I think I was the most excited to include, because this shade not only fits perfectly within the palette, but is also one of these shades that was recommended that I pick up by so many creators that I follow and love. And it's like the unsung hero of the Terra Moons collection, because it's one of their more inexpensive shades, but it shouldn't be because it's absolutely stunning. This is Lunar Lavender by Terra Moons Cosmetics. It is more beautiful than I could have ever imagined. It is this beautiful lavender base, but it is so sparkly. It's not like crazy shifts, but the sparkle is insane. It's so good. Everybody was right. It's really, it's just so beautiful. I have it on the inner portion of my eye. So yeah, this is Lunar Lavender. I cannot say enough how really, truly beautiful it is. I don't know if this is a shade that Kathryn has either, but I think she would like this one as well. So we'll see. Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. I'm not sure. One more shade. This is another newer shade from Terra Moons. It is called Butterfly Nebula. It is that more like kind of flaky formula from Terra Moons. So this is Butterfly Nebula. This shade is really crazy unique in my opinion. I don't quite know how to explain it. It's very similar in formula to Phoenix, and it has a similar kind of like high shine to it when you blend it out. It's very flaky, but the shifts in it are unbelievable. Like it has this kind of almost silver gray base, and then it shifts from like pink to green to gray to gold to like, it's just, I don't know, like there's so much going on in this shade that, yeah, I have a hard time almost getting a handle on describing it, but it's beautiful. And I felt like it had enough of that lavender in it that it made sense as the last shade in my kind of lavender, blue, purple column. So that is all of the shades swatched on my hand individually. I'm going to show you a quick look at them on my arm as a full palette so you can get a sense of it all together. And then we are going to wrap it up with some final thoughts and a look at the two looks that I did in close-up. So that's a look at the palette and swatches. I also had a chance to do 2 looks using the palette so far, and I honestly cannot wait to do more. The first one I have on my eyes right now, and I was so excited to use Lunar Lavender that I just had to make sure that it was one of the first shades that I used, and I love the idea of pairing it with that kind of raspberry matte shade. And then I threw in a bunch of other shades as well. I think I used Diatreme and some of Soulstone shade from Shroud as well. And then the second look that I did, I wanted to do something a little more graphic. I always get a little bit nervous with graphic looks, like, are my lines going to be sharp enough? Is it going to work? Can I pull it off? I ended up only having time to do it on one eye, so that's what I'm showing you today, but it was really fun, and I definitely want to finish it up and do it another day and do it on both eyes. And I might do the same kind of shape, but with different colors, because I think there's a lot of fun iridescence within the palette that would play nicely with those mattes. And you could do the same thing with the raspberry color instead of the blue. But it was kind of a not too difficult version of a graphic eye look. Like, it didn't take me all that long. Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that one. Again, I can't wait to play more with this palette. I can't wait to be continually inspired by it as I move through the month. And I want to thank Kathryn for wanting to do this collaboration with me. It was so lovely, and I'm just excited to have another friend in the community. This whole thing has been a really fun experience, and I can't wait to do more. And if there are any other creators out there that follow me that would love to do a collab, please reach out to me. I'm so open and willing and ready. I would love to do something together. This was a really fun experiment, and I'm sure that there's a lot of other great ideas out there that we could work on together. So with that, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Definitely give it a like before you leave it, and I would love to have you subscribe so that you can hang out with me in future videos. There's so much going on this summer. I'm so excited. There's a lot of eyeshadow content coming up, so get ready. I want to say thank you to Kathryn for doing this with me. I'm so excited. I absolutely cannot wait to see your video. So with that, thank you again so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. We'll talk soon. Bye.